Hello.
Hello.
How's everybody doing?
Long time no see. We are back and it is now 2020.
March 2020. You already know what's going on out there.
In January 2020, our last video, we told you guys about how we are after work entrepreneurs because we work full time jobs. And then when we clock out of our full time jobs, we are our own entrepreneurs running our own business. So that is not the case anymore for one of us because
Yeah, I quit my job,
dun
so
dun dun.
funny. Yeah, so I left that behind me and I wanted to open up more time so I could focus solely on the business that I'm running, which is I have my own recording studio, and so I'm just trying to focus on that and anything within that music industry route. And so it's been real exciting. I mean, I'll tell you, when I first got out that job, I just felt like a weight off my shoulder. It was like I could just. It was definitely a burden off my shoulder because I could definitely think more clearly, focus more, and just uh, for those out there who worked night shifts before, you already know how it is. And just doing that for about 5, 6 years continuously, it was getting to a tipping point at that scale, and so I just had to. Change things up. You know, sometimes if you do things repetitively too long, you it's hard to break. It's hard to break it because it becomes so routine. It's definitely a new experience. I won't say that the ball just I won't say that the ball just started rolling right at the beginning. Of course, there was a lot of stuff I had to figure out how to do my finances. I had to figure out how to um, finance that whole endeavor, the studio. I had to figure out how to manage it. I had to figure out how to do a bunch of stuff, get clients and stuff, and even to this day, I'm still figuring it out as I go, and that's what's popping off right now.
So why did you quit on the day that you did?
I quit because I just wasn't the same person who walked in there, and from the get go, and things had changed, situations at work had changed, and I just couldn't also juggle the business and what I wanted to do personally in life, and the job anymore. The job was becoming stressful, and it was just affecting my mental and physical health, and it was the balance wasn't there anymore. So I said that sometimes you got to make a decision, and I just had to make a boss move at that time and say that this is the route that I'm going to take, and that was that.
So how are your finances now without your full time job? How are you maintaining your balance?
The way I'm maintaining my balance right now is just the belief and faith that I'm doing the right thing in life at the moment. Funds is not pouring in like manna from heaven yet, but it definitely, I definitely do have the vision. Maybe I might have to get another second source of income to support this and to support the growth of what I'm trying to establish. But definitely, if I'm going to get a second source of income, it's definitely going to be related to something in the music industry and something that's not going to stress me out, like running around in the hospital or something like that. Yeah, so I know you got some updates about what's going on with the event and stuff like that.
So I'm still working full time. I'm still an after work entrepreneur.
Mhm.
And through all this, I think the most important part is being able to support each other. So that's another topic that you don't hear a lot of people talking about. when
That
both
would.
of us are working full time and both of us are running our own businesses and both of us are, paying all the bills together. And then suddenly, boom, one big stream of income is cut off. How do you still support each other? And, do I agree with the decision? Do I disagree? How did that all happen? I knew that this, leaving his full time job was going to come at some point, sooner rather than later for sure. And I also encouraged leaving the previous job because of the toll that it took on his health and his mental and emotional states. Like it was very harsh on his mindset, and it even impacted his business afterwards, because if you're already physically tired and you're mentally drained, then how could you pour anything into the business that you're trying to create, something that you actually want to put your full heart and soul into? You don't even have the energy to actually delve into that, and you can't really sell that to other people because you look so tired. People don't believe in what you're selling. So I was really all gung-ho for him to leave the job. And, we both decided, we agreed that whatever happens, we would pull in together. We do walk by faith, and we know that everything will always turn out well. Everything will always work out for the good. And so we had absolutely no problem with him leaving his job. And yeah, I still have my full-time income, so we were not strained, we were not stressed and under pressure. Both of us are very capable of figuring things out, and even, in a time crunch and under pressure, we're good at finding solutions for things. So neither one of us was really worried or stressed out about that, because we're problem solvers, is what we do. That's how we started our business. So, the main thing was figuring out how to make the business successful and successful enough to replace the income that he previously had. So it was really important for us to sit down and crunch numbers, be realistic, be ideal, think about the best case scenarios and the worst case scenarios income wise. So if we set prices here and these are the services that we're giving, how often and how hard would you have to work per month in order to make the amount of money to equal out our expenses, which is the bare minimum. Make sure that all of our expenses are covered first and foremost. So we sat down and crunched all those numbers, and he did not have to work, nearly as hard at the hospital as he would in his own business in order to supplement that. So we said, cool, we just have to work hard, make sure we hit this. This is our target. This is our goal. That is our focus. And I'm telling you, when he quit his job, he was a totally different person. I knew how hard he could work. I know how much passion and spirit he has. Or at least I thought I knew. But the day after he quit his job, when, he started actually building his studio space and actually developing his business plan and everything, I was blown away. I was so amazed by how much energy he had, how much spirit and presence he had. And I just really wanted to be around that. It was so magnetic that I was just this is amazing. I can't believe your job depressed you and suppressed you so much that I didn't even know that he could take it to that level. But it was really amazing. And so, of course, I was there to support him physically, mentally, and emotionally there as well, because we're both first-time entrepreneurs. So it takes both of our brains to come together and figure out what the business plan is, and then how to make that from a theoretical plan into actual reality. But it was very important to make sure that he did feel supported, because we don't have that income coming in, but yet the bills are still coming in every single week. You don't want the focus to be on bills. Oh, we know this bill is coming. We know this bill. We both know that the bills are coming. We've been paying the same bills for years. What's important is to make sure that he knows that if there comes any, tough times or anything, because I don't delve deep into his personal finances or anything. He can handle his own, and he does handle his own. So he needs to know that if, he gets into a tight space or he feels uncomfortable or he's unsure like where the finances are coming from for a certain bill or a certain period, that he can actually come to me for that, and that I can help him with that without saying, oh, where's the money? Oh, why aren't you making this? And, asking any questions or anything. Like, I completely understand the situation because I'm a part of that too. If I'm here encouraging him to leave his job, I should also be encouraging him to build up, his business, and also encouraging him to continue to push forward when it seems like, life and tough times are pushing back on him. Mm. So that's where I stand. And even now, as we're still, getting the one income in right now, and then still trying to find and fuel money from both of our businesses, right now my focus is still on making sure he feels supported and making sure that we're solving problems every single week. So every new bill is a new problem. Annual things come that we forget about. That's why it's nice to make sure you have that wiggle room as well, so we're not living paycheck to paycheck or struggling to make ends meet at any point.
So,
and it's also important for us together to determine what our limits are. So as he said, if it comes to a certain point in time and we're not making the amount of money that we said that we would need to cover all of our expenses, and the expenses start piling up and getting higher and higher to a point where we feel like we're either going to start falling behind, because we don't want to end up behind already. So before we even get behind, we're going to say, hey, let's look at something else that we can change. So like him finding a job.
If I can add on to that, there's definitely some pros and cons to always leaving. And I can share my experience real quick with that too. It just came to me. Of course, the pro is that you get more time to spend on your business and more time to put all your resources into it and stuff like that. But sometimes the con is that since it's like your job kind of gives you a little bit of a routine, schedule, structure, and stuff like that you're used to, and then it's like once you don't have that job, it's like you have all this free time and stuff like that. Sometimes I'll lose track of time. Sometimes I'll just keep it at 100. Lose track of time. Sometimes I'll lose track of my schedule, and you may not see that the first couple of days, but it really adds up, And number two, the last thing I also wanted to say was, oh boy, did it feel good to work and have a paycheck, knowing that a paycheck was coming at the end of, whatever time allocated to receive that paycheck. But now it's like there's no paycheck at the end. It's just strictly your own hustle. And sometimes it's like a ghost that's just there, just trying to haunt you. Like, you don't know. It's just up to you how you're going to do it. And so that's been a whole revolutionary thing for me.
It'll definitely be worth it. We are not going to stop anytime soon. So we're very hopeful. And what I always, like to tell him is that, if you work hard and you continue to fight for it, it will be successful. If you believe it'll be successful, you're going to work like it's already successful. And if you're working like it's already successful, there's no way it can't be a success. Mm-hmm. So with that said, that's our update so far of January. In our next video, we'll tell you guys about the specifics of each of our businesses. But until then, we'll see you next time on After Work Entrepreneurs. Peace.